What do you want to talk about? You mute, you lose. You lose.
I mean, obviously the prompt.
Okay. Yeah, I just think that a lot of, if people understood better the sorts of things we were riffing about, me and that previous caller, about the separation of powers, and that people's oaths are not to the president but to the Constitution, I think that they would recognize it's a very big problem, the consolidation of power that's happening in the United States government right now.
All right, man. So, I mean, there's all sorts of abuse of power, but so talk to me about civics real quick. Tell me why, on what basis you don't think that MAGA doesn't understand civics.
Okay, I'll just give you an example, because there's lots of little examples that make up my general impression that most MAGA supporters don't understand civics. But I'll give you an example that comes up a lot, which is that a lot of people defend Donald Trump's executive order that overturned birthright citizenship for the children of undocumented immigrants. A lot of people defend that as some kind of referendum on the Constitution, like, oh, he's proposing a change, Congress is going to enact it, which is not the mechanism by which anybody achieves. Like, if the president wants there to be an amendment to the Constitution, he doesn't have the power to do that. He has to convince Congress to do it, and there's no reason for him to make an unconstitutional executive order trying to achieve what he wants. A person who understands civics sees that as obvious and knows that it's bad for the president to try to do that.
So for example, with him doing an executive order like that, obviously it would be challenged, and obviously it would go up to the Supreme Court. So in a sense, he's using that avenue. He's using the resources, being able to be sued, because obviously he was going to be sued by that. So he's using the power of the Supreme Court. That was the whole reason of the executive order, was to bring this in front of the Supreme Court. So that way he didn't have to wait on Congress to make a new law, because obviously they're not doing anything. So by getting it in front of the Supreme
Court, Congress. If
you just interrupted me. I wasn't finished. Can I just finish my point?
Sure.
You were talking. This is exactly why my name is You Mute, You Lose, right? It's because you guys always interrupt me. You guys don't let me finish. As soon as I start making sense, you guys start interrupting. So by using his executive order authority, right? He put it out there. It was obviously going to get sued right away. It's going to go in front of the Supreme Court, which it is right now. They're going to make a determination on it. If it's found unconstitutional, guess what? It's unconstitutional. It won't be enforced. If you're sitting there acting like he's enforcing this right now, can you name me one person that didn't have birthright citizenship since his executive order?
You didn't address the point, which is that this is not.
I addressed the point.
No, you didn't. The president didn't like an amendment to the Constitution, and instead of convincing Congress to,
he's challenging the amendment.
But that's not how the president is supposed to do that.
100%. Why can't he do that? That's what the Supreme Court's for.
Because executive orders are supposed to be constitutional.
Can you show me anywhere in there that it says that every executive order? Okay, and not only that, but if it's found constitutional, what then? That's why it's in front of the Supreme Court to see if it's found constitutional. He's challenging it, right? So just like the fact that we have the First Amendment, freedom of speech, right? Is all speech free? Yes or no?
Is all speech free?
Do we have truly free speech? Can you just say whatever you want?
No,
anytime you want.
No, we have exceptions.
So why do you think that is? Is because there was a law that was challenging our speech, right? There was a law saying you can't say fire, you can't cause chaos. That is not considered free speech. Obviously, there's things that challenge the Constitution, just like the Second Amendment shall not be infringed, right? But the courts have decided, and they've maintained, that certain regulations and certain things, like, for example, if you're a violent felon, right, a violent criminal, you cannot possess a firearm, right? But
Dude,
clearly the Constitution.
I'm not following you, and the people in the chat are not following you. So
what do you mean? I'm giving you examples of challenges to the Constitution.
Right.
And it clearly says free speech, right? And it clearly says shall not be infringed. But obviously, there's things that can be restricted as far as your speech,
right? And it's not
obviously
the president, right. And if you understood civics, you'd understand that it is not the president's job to change those things with executive orders.
100%, it is
not what executive orders are for.
He's challenging the current understanding of the law right now is what he's doing, which he has every single right to do.
No, he
which
doesn't.
is why
The president does not
why
have
is
the
it in
right
front of the
to issue
Supreme Court right
executive
now?
orders
Then?
that are unconstitutional.
Why is it in front of the Supreme Court right now being challenged?
Because it's unconstitutional.
Did the Supreme Court come out with a ruling already?
Did they? I don't think so.
Okay, then don't call it unconstitutional until it gets ruled as unconstitutional.
It's obviously unconstitutional.
Okay, no, it's not. Right?
Yes,
okay, so if you're saying birthright citizenship,
Do we need to read the 14th Amendment? Do we need to do this for the fourth time today?
Yeah, read the 14th Amendment, buddy.
Okay, what do you think?
Read it right now. No, you said you're going to read it. Read it.
I'm curious what you think it says before.
Just read it. Just read it. No, just read it. Read it, the full thing. Read the full thing.
The full thing. I'll read the whole thing, even though it's really, really, really long. It's like a whole 2 sentences.
Just read it. Why are you stalling? Read it.
Dude, I'm fucking scrolling to get to it. Fucking relax, dude. You're kind of rude. Like this. Like you're.
No, you're just getting destroyed, and you don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my god, dude. Okay.
Yeah, stalling. Keep stalling, buddy.
I'm literally pulling it up right now. Like, what's the? There we go. Yep. All right. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens.
Okay, stop right there. Stop right there.
Oh, I'm sorry. You interrupted me. Does that mean that you're getting cooked? You interrupted me. Does that mean you're getting cooked? You're interrupting me. Does that mean you're getting cooked? Oh my God, Chad, he's so cooked because he interrupted me. That's you. That's what you sound like. What were you saying?
What does jurisdiction mean?
Jurisdiction means residing in a territory where the United States government is the legal authority.
Okay, so you're part of their jurisdiction, right?
Me? You talking about me or
subject? Persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof. What does that mean?
Okay, so basically subject to the jurisdiction thereof just means that you are subject to the laws of the place where you are. That is almost everybody who's there with 2 exceptions. I will explain the exceptions to you if you're not familiar with what they are.
Okay. So rephrase what just repeat what you just said. Repeat what you just said just a second ago.
If being subject to the jurisdiction thereof means that you are subject to the laws of the place where you currently are.
Okay. Are illegal immigrants subject to the laws?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Yes.
How are they subject to the laws?
If I murder an illegal immigrant, that's murder. If an illegal immigrant murders me, that's murder. Those are examples of illegal immigrants being subject to the laws of this country because murder.
How do you have any information on them? How do you have any documentation on them? How are they subject to the laws if they're not part of the system?
Because if a police officer sees a person, regardless of what anything else they know about that person, murder somebody, none of that matters. That person will be arrested for murder because they are subject to the jurisdiction of the area where that law enforcement officer is the extension of the judicial branch that enforces the laws within that jurisdiction.
You're not understanding what I'm saying. How are you supposed to be subject to laws, right? So, say for example, if you have a driver's license, right?
Yes.
You have identification, you have something in the system showing, hey, I'm part of this system. How can you show me that illegal immigrants are subject to this system, subject to our jurisdiction and our laws?
All a person has to do to
can I finish my point? Can I just finish my point?
Sure, dude.
What you're saying is when they commit a crime, when they commit a crime and they get caught, of course, you're subject to the law of crimes you commit. What about all the other laws? What about border laws? What about naturalization laws? Are they subject to those?
They're subject to those laws, yes. And
how can we enforce them if we don't know who they are?
I mean, are you suggesting that we can't enforce immigration policy because we don't know who they are?
No, what I'm suggesting is they cannot be subject to our jurisdiction if they are not part of our system.
So if a person's a legal immigrant, they are allowed to murder people with impunity because...
Did I even say that? Wow, what a ridiculous point you're bringing up. Never once did I even... You're going off on this crazy assertion that I said that. I did not say that. Nowhere did I say that.
I'm going to take a suggestion from the chat. Define the word jurisdiction. Don't Google it. Just define it. You're here arguing it. I want to hear what you think it means. Nah, he's Googling.
Who, me?
Yeah. Yes, you. Who the fuck else?
You just said something from the chat.
I'm going to take a suggestion from the chat, and I'm going to ask you to define the word jurisdiction.
I mean, that's a broad term. I mean, so if you're talking about, okay, so what do you specifically think it means?
It means the legal authority to make judgments about a person.
The legal authority to make judgments about a person?
Yes.
No, that's not what it is.
The authority to make legal judgments about a person. Yes, that's what you're.
No, it doesn't. Okay, so the FBI, for example,
what do you
where's their
think
jurisdiction?
it means?
Where is their jurisdiction? Where's the FBI's jurisdiction?
Answer what you think.
Where's the FBI's jurisdiction is?
Okay, wait. Let's see if I was right. Let's see how close I got it.
Where is the FBI's jurisdiction is?
The official power to make legal decisions and judgments. That's
exactly.
That's what jurisdiction is. Yes.
That's not what you said.
What I said was pretty close to that.
No, it wasn't. You were bringing it down to an individual, right? So
over
what you're
an
saying,
entity. Yes, legal judgments are made against individuals or corporations, right? Legal entities, like yeah, that's roughly what I said. You didn't offer a definition at all. Which, if we're gonna have this like nasty debate,
because it's a broad term. I said it's a broad term.
Yeah. Answering it as a broad term is like a politician dodging a question. It doesn't demonstrate.
Dodge a question.
You answering the question, what is the definition of the word jurisdiction, by saying it's a broad term and then demanding that I define it, is you dodging the question, what is the definition of the word jurisdiction?
I mean, if that's what you want to sit here and say, cool, bro. Oh man, I sat there and I said it's a broad term.
Yeah, that's not the definition.
Oh man, that was such a good point.
Yes, it was a good point. You demonstrated yourself not to know the definition of the word jurisdiction.
Oh man,
because you're calling
that is that dude. That like this is such a slow argument, a low IQ argument. Oh man, you couldn't tell me exactly what jurisdiction means, and neither could I. But guess what? Like, I was more right than you. No, you weren't.
Dude,
you were not.
I defined it.
Not.
I got it pretty
I asked
close
you a
to the
question.
definition that I looked up.
Where's the FBI's jurisdiction?
Within the territories of the United States.
Within the territories of the United States.
Yeah.
Good. Where's local police's jurisdiction?
Whatever the jurisdiction of that police department. It varies from department to department. Sometimes it's by county or city boundary. Like there's also.
That was a broad question. How about the?
It was not. It was a very specific
answer. The city or town that they're in. The city or town that they're in.
That's not always the case.
Police?
Yeah, like I mean, there are different types of police departments. Like depending on if you live in a small town, then yes, it's just going to be the boundaries of that town. I, for example, live in a place where I am subject to the jurisdiction of two different police departments: the Hennepin County Sheriff's Department
Sheriff's
and the
Department
Minneapolis.
Police.
Right. Okay. So that.
Yeah.
So I broadened
I said police specifically.
I broadened my answer to. Right. Would you say that sheriff's deputies are not police officers?
They are police officers, but I'm talking about the actual the name police.
Then you're
have the police department.
Then you're crashing out about the fact that I managed to catch the fact that there's two answers to what you said.
So you mean I have to? So you mean I'm holding you to your same standard that you held me a second ago? And now you're crashing out over it. You see how stupid your argument was a second ago? I just used it against you, and now you're getting mad at me.
I'm getting mad at you for being a fucking nincompoop, dude.
No, I just used your own logic against you, and you can't stand it.
How? How did it explain?
Oh, man.
Explain. How did you do that?
Because I literally just asked you questions, and you're like, "Oh, well, I didn't want to get specific," and then I made you try to get specific. Why do I have to get that specific? And you're
That's
dumb,
not what
dude.
happened.
That's exactly what just happened.
No, you asked me what the jurisdiction of these.
You have a good night, man. I'll take this W with the.
If you leave, you lose. 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 If you leave, you lose.
Because you obviously don't understand how executive authority works.
Hey, your username is you mute, you lose. I haven't muted you. If you leave, you lose.
I mean, that's fine. If you want to say I lose, I lose.
If you
I won. I know I won. You just got cooked. Thank you, buddy.
If you leave, you lose. He left. Wow, what a fucking hell. Man, I don't think I've ever, that. I can't even take credit for that one. That guy's just a fucking nincompoop. Jerry wants to talk. That one's going on YouTube. That was a fun one. All right, Jerry, what do you want to talk about?